Hello everyone, welcome to the action tonight, coming to you from Kazakhstan. We're in Almaty, the largest city in the south of Kazakhstan, and you are warmly welcomed to Fight Night. Bringing you action tonight, 5 bouts and 3 talented amateurs making their professional debuts this evening. Really looking forward to that, and there's a flavour of Kazakhstan. And we know there's been plenty of talented amateurs in recent years. They've won a double handful of medals at recent World Championships and indeed at the Olympic Games in Rio as well. And there's at least one fighter tonight we'll be hoping to be at the Summer Olympics, the rescheduled Summer Olympics next year as well. Really looking forward to seeing Kunkabayev make his professional debut later on. That's in a cruiserweight bout. The fighters getting prepared though for our opener, which is coming up, and that's going to be the first of a trio of debutants in the shape of Talgat Shaiken in action at 154 pounds. Alongside me, Alex Steedman, former world champion Barry Jones, my co-commentator throughout the action. Barry, we know that Kazakhstan has a recent rich history of amateur talent, and that is just starting to flood its way into the professional game as well.
It is, and I think obviously, Golovkin has shown the way, of course, but you will see, I think, over the next, anywhere from now to the next 5 years, champions be produced at the highest level and be more competitive, and then you're going to see the real strength of the Kazakh boxers.
We're going to get a flavour of it tonight, and there you can see we're looking forward to seeing Talgat Shaiken in action against Berikbay Nurymbetov. Looking forward to seeing this young man. He's only 19, making his professional debut tonight. And he, one of the 3 professional debutants that we're looking forward to seeing. So our master of ceremonies tonight, Armin Mamanyov, is going to kickstart proceedings for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live, and I want to say hot assalamu alaikum from Kazakhstan. Ladies and gentlemen, we are glad to welcome all of you from Almaty, from Professional Boxing Evening, MTK Fight Nights. This evening organized by MTK Kazakhstan, MTK Global in association with ESPN Plus. Top rank, round 10 Ahmed Siddiqui. This event is held in full compliance with sanitary and epidemiological standards and sponsored by Kaz Ateka University, Gold Sapa, Puncher Media Agency, Buka, Round 10 Boxing and Underdog, and general sponsor of the match, Pari Match. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce with judges and referees. Referee Aydamir Yaraliyev, Taras, Kazakhstan. Bol Tuzinde, Almaty, Kazakhstan. Baurjan Iskakov, Aktobe, Kazakhstan. Ringside, Khayrat Safin, Semey, Kazakhstan. Yerbol Nurushev, Shymkent, Kazakhstan. Timekeeper, Beknur Akim Khoja, Almaty region, Kazakhstan. Ringside doctor, Askat Zulkarnayola. And supervisor of the match, Mariam Muhamedjan. And so, ladies and gentlemen, boxers are ready. Judges and the referees are ready. We are ready. And let's start MTK Fight Night. The bout in super welterweight division. To the red corner of the ring, we invite the boxer representing Karaganda, Kazakhstan. Please welcome Karsalınızlar, Berikbay Nurımbetov.
I know that you want me to fail, but no, I won't. I'll keep fighting until the day I learn about.
And making his way to the ring is Berikbay Nurymbatov. He's unbeaten in 5 fights so far. They have been spread out over a number of years. He was actually fighting back in 2016, had 3 years out the game, came back last year, and he's already fought once in this very arena back in February. Obviously, he's had a few months off since then. He beat a young debutant in a matter of minutes on that occasion. He's up against another talented debutant tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent in blue corner. Please welcome, representing Kokshitao, Kharsalinzdar, Talgat Шайкен!
Well, it's a big night for this young man. Making the walk for the first time, you could forgive a few butterflies, a few nerves, perhaps. He's an Almaty young man himself, Talgat Shaiken, and he turns 20, not till next month. But he's got plenty of amateur experience, medals as well, at top level as a youngster, and now he's making the walk as a pro. Really looking forward to seeing what he can do tonight. Always a big night for these youngsters just starting out.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce the boxer representing red corner. He is a finalist of Asia Youth Championship. He is a 172 centimeters tall. His weight is 69.7 kilogram. Professional record of the boxer: 5 wins, no losses. 1 win by way of knockout. Representing Karaganda, Kazakhstan, Kharsalinzdar, Berikbay Nurymbetov. His opponent representing blue corner. He is a finalist of Youth Olympic Games. He is a 172 centimeters tall. His weight is 69 kilogram. It is a professional debut. Representing Kokshitao, Kazakhstan. Hanımlar ve mırzalar, Kharsalinzdar, Talgat Шайкен!
Start from both of you. You should listen to obey my command. You shake hands, I wish you the best. Touch it. Are you ready? Number 2.
Here we go then, kick-starting proceedings with a young man starting out in the professional game.
Let's go.
And that is Talgat Shaiken. Southpaw in the gold and black, and you can see him already trying to settle down behind the jab. Interesting to see Barry, big night for him just starting out.
Yeah, and a good test as well. You know, we don't know how Nurymbetov's, who he's been up against exactly and how good he actually is, but the fact that he has a winning record and undefeated, says a lot what they think of Shaiken and what they think his future will be, especially at such a young age.
Yeah, only 19, just about to turn 20. He's very happy initially to go head-to-head with Nurymbeto, who has largely been up against young, inexperienced, inferior opposition, losing records or debutants. He actually turned pro at sort of super light stroke welterweight. After his couple of years out of the ring, he's reappeared, getting up 154 and even up towards 160 pounds. So interesting to see what sort of test he is tonight for Shaiken.
He's a nice correct puncher, Shaiken, but there's not too much upper body movement, so he's right there to be hit after he throws the shots. Just holds his feet a bit too much and just a little bit square to the tag at the times. He obviously, fancies his power a little bit, doesn't he? Fancies his strength. That's better there, a little half step back there from Shaiken.
Oh, nice body shot there from Nurymbeto.
Oh, and again there, Nurymbeto, nice little 1-2 there right on the line. The thing is, he doesn't have to go looking for Shaiken, does he? He's right in front of him. That's better. It wasn't a massive pivot on the front foot. A little step to the right to keep that foot, that southpaw stance on the outside.
And again.
Yeah, good.
That was lovely, wasn't it? Getting his shots off then, a little bit of movement as well. No stationary target in front of Nurymbeto. He's only got the one stoppage in his 5 wins so far.
To be fair, Nurymbeto tried exactly the same movement there. Didn't quite come off for him though.
Keep your head up.
It's a confident start from Shaiken. Oh, clipped.
Again though, throw the shots and just holds his feet. Oh, good shot though, good left hand there from Shaiken.
Oh, lovely shot. Actually, Nurymbetovs came back with his own, just clipped him with a hook. So there's constant little reminders for Shaiken early on in this first round.
That's better there from Shaiken there, a little bit of movement.
Did he clip him with the right hand?
No,
or
there's a
just
bit of a push and tangle of the feet, I think. Good shot there though from Nurymbetovs, finished the round.
Oh, good start, wasn't it? Entertaining start to this one. Well, the interesting thing about tonight's card is the matchups for the youngsters just starting out in their professional careers. A couple of potentially tough matchups tonight, certainly on paper. And already we've seen that Nurymbetovs is going to at least ask a few questions of Shaiken early on in his career. And a few little reminders that he needs to be alert tonight.
Yeah, but he's in against guys who come to win, and that's we're going to see what he has. But he does some good work there, Shaiken. But the fact that after he throws his shots, that's his worst. It's after he does his work is the problem with him right now. If he can adapt, because he's just holding his feet after he throws his shots, and then Nurymbetovs doesn't have to look too far to find the target if he wants to counter.
Round 2, ikinci round.
Into the second round then, scheduled for 6 this one. Around 154 pounds, and Talgat Shaiken in the gold and black trunks was a talented amateur, as we said at the outset. Silver medal at the Olympic Youth Games a couple of years ago in Buenos Aires, Argentina. He's beaten by a vastly more experienced Russian Ilya Popov. He actually managed to get a knockout in the semi-finals to progress to that gold medal match, and basically experience beat him on that night. Here he is, a couple of years on, now in the pro ranks.
Loaded up with that left hand there, Shaiken. He's just using that footwork a little bit more, isn't he, in this round?
Barry absolutely spot on about Nurymbetovs. He is coming to win in throwing shots, and there's no feeling out process here. They settled down to business right away.
Good shot.
He's kind of pawing with the jab, but he speared a left hand through the guard, and there's that clever movement off the shots too. Much better, that classy from Shaiken.
Yeah, it's better. He's showing a little bit of well, you can see what made him a good amateur, not just that bullet strength. There's a little bit of guile to his work he's showing now as well. It's good though, back. Good response in there from Nurymbetovs.
Yeah, he keeps replying, and he's letting loose with some heavy shots himself. And Shaiken, when he's not moving, and he's not constantly moving, he is there to be hit. Certainly making for a good watch anyway.
Just needs to try and get that uppercut into play now. Shaiken. That's a good shot. That's nice work as well there. A little jab and a slip.
He's certainly breathing a bit of confidence into his work as well. Looks like he's loosening up, but again, there's always little cameos, isn't there? There's at least one solid shot coming back in the exchanges from Nurymbetovs as well. There's a couple of times now Nurymbetovs has let a punch go on the break, and he let one go there. Big right hand, he almost let another one go. He's going to have to be careful, Nurymbetovs, just getting a bit fiery here. Well, second round pretty explosive towards the end, and not for the first time through the first couple of rounds. Nurymbetovs has thrown a punch after the referees appeared to break them.
It's good deliberate work here from Shaiken. You know, he's trying to punch through the target. It's just a little bit, sometimes a little bit ponderous his work. So this could be a little more injection of pace at times. He uses footwork more in that round. Not at the end of the round, of course, which tried to hold his feet and want to dig it out. To be fair, I think that was where the bell went, but I think Shaiken threw the first punch after the bell. And Nurymbetov duly responded.
Well, the referee just with a stern warning to the pair of them after those shots were exchanged after the bell at the end of the second as we move into the third. It's been a good positive start from Talgat Shaiken on his professional debut. He's been clipped a couple of times. Can he do something different? Can he put a little gap, perhaps class-wise, between himself and Nurymbetov?
Well, this is good what he's doing. Now he's moving and boxing, then he can hold his feet. Just keep changing the tempo. That'll make it harder for Nurymbetov then to stay with him. He'll be second guessing all the time, playing catch-up.
Body shot there from Nurymbetov. The language from Shaiken certainly physically looked as though he felt it was low, and there's one. Almost caught him on the knee, and there he goes again. It's a Ricky Hatton type response there from Nurymbetov, just taking the law into his own hands. And the referee unhappy about it. I think he's taken a point off.
He has taken a point off, but I understand that. But he was hit so low by Shaiken there that it almost wasn't dangerous. It was so low.
Just slightly off balance, I think, Nurymbetov. He landed a couple of good body shots himself in that exchange as they go head to head again.
He's boxed well in this round, hasn't he, so far?
A little bit of blood coming from the nose of Nurymbetov.
It's good there from Shaiken there because he's having success, but he's not staying at. He's not being too greedy with his work. Now with a couple of shots, and then that's it. You move away then. Don't take anything back. When he holds his feet there like that, he might show some strength and not be bothered with the shots, but he's having to take it too many at times.
And the combinations, the classier shots being put together definitely by Shaiken. He's doing more in each round. He's winning the rounds, but Nurymbetov always having his moments.
He's just relaxed into it a little bit, hasn't he, here?
Yeah, he's starting to flow a bit.
Yeah.
Nice uppercut again there from Nurymbetov. There's always one or two punches, isn't there, around from him that you remember. Never quite enough, but little moments.
Just loading up there, Nurymbetov, and that's why he's always a little bit too slow off the mark.
And that was better from Shaiken. He got those shots off and then he ducked under the reply, moved away.
That was nice there. A little feint step back and a little jab. Boxed well in that round.
Yeah, he did. Aided and abetted by an additional point for the low blow, and that was his best round so far. Well, the manner in which the point was deducted, perhaps slightly unfair, I think, on that man, Berikbay Nurymbetov. I think he's just frustrated by the fact he was hit low himself. He retaliated. Never to be condoned, but I think sometimes you understand it, and unfortunately, because of that, he's been punished. And thereafter, Barry, Shaiken kind of got into a groove.
Yeah, he did, yeah. As you already mentioned, he got a nice little rhythm to his work, and yeah, he's starting to take total control. Though he's won every round. The first round, he held his feet too much and got caught too much, but as the rounds have gone on, the second and certainly that round, got a nice rhythm to his work. His footwork's moving well, and he's boxing much better than looks the prospect that we were told about.
Round 4, 30 round.
Into round 4 then. Here's Talgat Shaiken getting better as this one goes on, or can Berikbay Nurymbetov pose one or two problems? He's landed some body shots, Nurymbetov. Another one went through there, right hand, and a couple of them on the belt. Oh, just a little dip of the knees there as Shaiken landed a left hand.
See, if Shaiken could just get a little bit more whip in those shots, because they're heavy punches, you could see it, but just think they lack a little bit of velocity to really get a guy out of there. But good work. I think he's boxing for a young kid. He's grabbed his composure really well after that first round.
No, he doesn't look like a 19-year-old.
No, he doesn't.
His first time out, does he?
Good. Oh, that's good. She felt that.
I did feel it. Yeah, there's just a little stutter in the step there again, off balance with the right foot, Nurymbetovs. And Shaiken trying to shake off his opponent. Just a little blood coming from the nose there again of Nurymbetovs. Maybe is the Shaiken starting to get through?
So you can see that gap there, Nurymbetovs. You can see that gap through the middle there with the body shots. Just can't quite reach the target at times. Tough. Good right hook.
What he has done is the 6 rounds quite a few times. Last July, did it a couple of times in 2016 as well. Before that, time away from the sport. So he has at least been there, where, of course, it's a new experience for Talgat Shaiken, certainly in the professional ranks. He's buzzing now, though, the young man.
Oh, that's nice, cute.
Again, the body shots have been good from Nurymbetovs, sneaking in another right hand, but just little moments for him and not anything more.
That was lovely there from Shaiken there. Nice little 1-2 little feint move around the target. Really good work.
And to be fair to Shaiken, Barry, he's not been clipped as he was through the first couple of rounds. There was sort of careless moments where he was punished for little mistakes.
Well, I think he was trying to be a little bit too bullish, and I think maybe just trying to impose himself on Nurymbetovs, and then realised maybe that wasn't the right tact. The way he's boxing the last few rounds has been really good. This round, every round getting better than the previous one, which is impressive. Just adding on to that success from the previous round, and he's boxed even better again in his 4th round. Movement, but he just stops and holds his feet long enough to get a bit of purchase on the shots, and he's off again.
Nurymbetovs is trying. He's trying hard, just becoming a little tired, maybe a bit more ragged, and that's allowing Shaiken to look better and better as each round progresses. So very much in control. Corner pretty happy with him, I think, Talgat Shaiken.
We've seen here from Nurymbetovs here, the little cameos of success that he does have every now and again, and it's only when Shaiken holds his feet, to be honest, and when he lands more than 2 or 3 punches and holds his feet, then he gets caught. But when he throws his little fast burst of combinations and moves off, he really is dominating the show.
Into round 5 then. Talgat Shaiken, one of it, I think at least three southpaws, Kazakh southpaws tonight as well. That's
not even a thing anymore.
No,
is it?
it's not.
It used to be a rarity. Another rarity in boxing now is a boxer without a tattoo.
Just complaining of. Is he quite work out what he was saying? Whether he's distracted by something or someone, but.
That's the thing, with no crowds, you can hear everything ringside, can't you? You can hear the corners talking and anything else, so you might have heard something he wasn't happy with.
Certainly won't have been happy with the fist flying his way. Again, he backs off. Nurymbetovs, is he trying to lure in Shaiken?
I think a little bit, because he needs Shaiken close to him. That's the problem he has. he had to be that 3/4 range for him to really get to work. From distance here, he just can't reach the target at all. He's tried, and you see it there. Like every time he makes a move, everything's too telegraphed, so you can see it's too easy to read. So he needs to be close to it. It's harder to read his attacks, and he can get those uppercuts and hooks into play.
And actually, for the first time in the fight, we're seeing something again from Shaiken. Look at him controlling the distance now. And Nurymbeetov just can't get close to him at all. That's a bit more what I expected from the start for him. But to be fair, what he's been doing has worked, but it's been good to watch too.
Well, after the first round, you thought, I'm not sure about his longevity, but he's going to be in fun fights straight away if he fights the way he is in a minute. But I think he's adapted as the fight's gone on, and he's shown really good boxing skills, good footwork as well, and yeah, and has improved massively as the rounds have gone on. It's been impressive.
I think he's enjoyed himself as well, Shaiken, and he's certainly doing so now. Very relaxed. He started to flow, didn't he, in that third round, and we mentioned that rhythm. And he's just got better and better as this one's gone on.
That didn't look that low to me. I gotta be honest. It must have been, but it didn't look too bad.
I think Nurymbeetov probably feel he's had the rough end of this from the start. But you thought through the first couple of rounds he might just have a big moment in this fight potentially, and it's just been taken away from him as it's gone on.
Well, I think he has. If Shaiken was
big shot.
If Shaiken was going to try and push him back like he did in the first round, then I think Nurymbeetov would have been competitive, because you stand in front of him, he'll go toe to toe with you, but he can't cope with his feet, are not fast enough. He can't cope with the movement.
Bit of a frustrating night for Berikbay Nurymbeetov. Landed some body shots, a couple of big punches landed through the first couple of rounds, and then with the point taken off in the third, Shaiken started to get into a groove and a rhythm, started to flow, and we've seen that throughout the fourth and fifth rounds. There's certainly something's irked him, hasn't it? Whether it's the referee, something someone said by ringside, but he just got wound up about something, Nurymbeetov.
Final round, round 6.
Into round 6 then. Nice start to the boxing tonight. And Talgat Shaiken, the debutant, only 19, has got better and better as this one has gone on. Lands a nice left hand as well, and Nurymbeetov's just got to try and close the gap and let his hands go.
Yeah, this is where he wants Shaiken right here, isn't it? There's good work there from Nurymbeetov. The only good, I don't think the referee's been his friend tonight, Nurymbeetov, with any stretch of the imagination, but I don't think that public warning will really have an effect on the fight. Only one winner so far anyway, isn't it?
Again, a left-handed. Yeah, again, he's. I think it's just his the sort of body language. Just look a couple of times. It's just there's another low one.
Yep.
Nurymbeetov, but a couple of times he's just like momentarily sagged, and you just wondered that the power's starting to get through, but he's worn it well.
Good left hand.
Oh, that's solid looking jab. Getting through better from Shaiken there as well. Bit of frustration, I think, from Nurymbeetov, but there you saw, after he'd let his shots go, something that wasn't happening in the first and second round. He's thinking about what was coming back after he'd thrown them.
Yeah, and that was good there, wasn't it? And then close edge. Injection of pace there with a nice little uppercut, right hook, and off he went. Again there, spinning on the right hook. Make sure every time he throws a shot there's always an exit route, and I think that's made him much better, much more elusive, much more fluent in his work as the rounds have gone on.
And he's looked pretty good physically with the pace. throughout.
It's fantastic. For a 19-year-old kid in their debut, it's been a fantastic little display. He's not boxing. I don't think Nurymbetov is going to be any world beater, but he's boxing a guy who's undefeated. Comes with with that man strength, of course, in being 28 and 29, and obviously he's come to win.
And now he's been pushed back by the younger man. A couple of times in this round, he's pushed his man off, Shaiken, inside the final minute. And Shaiken coming forward in the final 30 seconds, trying to bully Nurymbetov.
Just too slow off the mark, isn't he, Nurymbetov?
And he's starting to get through now, whether Nurymbetov just trying to lure him into something, but he's kind of put the exclamation mark on this. Shaiken, I think it's fair to say, in this final round.
Oh, he's boxed great, haven't he? He really has. Didn't look like he had much shakes in the first round, but from there on, he's boxed really good.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's support
Oh, that was nice to see. He showed a little bit of everything, didn't he? Wanted to fight through the first couple of rounds, then he started to find his mojo, get a bit of rhythm into his work. He flowed through the third, fourth and fifth rounds, and then he tried to land some heavier shots in the final 3 minutes there as well.
Yeah, but it looked like from the first round he wanted to just try and pile through Nurymbetov and show his physical strength. Maybe that was one of his things as an amateur. But as the rounds were on, the second round, he used his feet a little bit more, but still tried to be a little bit more bullish. But then the third round, he adapted a little more again, started moving the footwork and never running, but always looking to move after throwing shots, looking for the different angles, holding his feet now and again to get some weight in the shots, trying to push Nurymbetov back in little pockets of the rounds, but really realised that the movement and the distance was going to be his friend in this fight and was going to make him sail home, which is, for me, it did by a street. I think he won everything. 10-8 in the third round, of course, because of the dubious points deduction, I would say. But yeah, I think it was for a 19-year-old kid in their first fight, it's a fantastic performance.
Yeah, he looked a little tense coming into the ring. He certainly didn't fight like it at all. But confident, full of the business, and I think he enjoyed himself too. And I think plenty of people watching around the world won't mind having a little gander at this guy, this young man again, when he's out next. And I think he'll be pretty wide on the scorecards, with or without that. I think he won every round, really.
Yeah, he did. He won every round, he did. But I think he realised after the first round that if he stands right in front of Nurymbetov, then he's going to be in a fight, and adapted straight away. And adapting in the ring is a difficult thing to do, and he did it quite effectively.
60-53. Judge 2, 59-54. Judge 3, 60-53. Win by unanimous decision and their professional debut, blue corner, Talgat Shaiken!
Yeah, 7 points on 2 of the judges' scorecards, which I think is about right. Talgat Shaiken makes a winning start to his professional boxing career, and this talented